Hallo zusammen. Welcome to the first feedback Freitag for GER102. I like to end every week, every Friday, with a short video to give you a little bit of feedback on some of the things that I've noticed throughout the week, either on your tongue controller, the Polizei controller, or the Anreise. Of course, this week's a little bit different. Our first Polizei controller was just about the syllabus. There's nothing really to discuss there. So this largely revolves around your first tongue controller, which you completed on Thursday. Those have been graded now, so make sure you take a look at your feedback and see some of the feedback that we gave to you about how you did. But again, I want to use this then to pinpoint some of the common things that I noticed, common areas of common mistakes that we can focus on now. So even if it doesn't apply to you because you did it correctly, these are still good reminders to get it in your head about what are we looking for in this German class, okay? So I'm going to walk through a couple things now and I'll just explain a little bit more detail what we're looking for. So the first is more of a reminder than anything, but the use of capital letters in German. You hopefully remember by now, but even if you don't, it's a good refresher that all nouns in German will have capital letters. There's no exception. If the noun has a capital letter in German. So too do the start of sentences, just like in English. Make sure the start of the sentence has a capital letter too. It might trip you up a little bit in some of these online quizzes because I'm only asking for a short sentence or whatnot. But still, nonetheless, make sure that the word at the start of the sentence has a capital letter too. So the other side of things then, of course, is that anything else does not have a capital letter, especially things like adjectives or verbs. So be sure that, again, if it's, let's say, a quiz question and I'm looking for a singular verb or adjective as the answer, just don't capitalize it. You might think, well, I'm just typing a single word there, so it gives a capital. But we need to see that you know that nouns have capitals and adjectives and verbs do not have capitals. So ensure that you're being very clear in your quiz answers as well. Of course, to the analyze of the written tasks, that only the correct nouns have capitals and the verb and adjectives and whatnot do not have capitals. And just another thing as well, something like ich, right? I, the pronoun in German. Yes, I in English is capitalized, but it's not in German. So make sure your ich does not have capital either. The second thing to pick up on is kind of sentence order stuff, right? And it's how sentences with the subject verb, how the sentence order is for those kind of sentences. We know that all sentences need a subject and a verb. So what's important to know in German is that the subject and verb are intrinsically linked together. They have to stick together in some way, shape, or form. So they're going to appear side by side. Now that means that sometimes a sentence will begin with subject verb, so something like ich brauche einen Termin. But we can turn that around as well. We can have a verb subject, so brauchst du einen Termin? It doesn't matter if it's a question, if it's just a regular sentence. What we need to have in either case is the subject and the verb, or the verb and the subject together, stuck together, will remain together. You're not going to have a verb and then a couple words down the line have the subject at that point in time, or the subject first, then have some adjectives and whatnot, and then the verb. No, it's going to be subject, verb, subject, stuck together at all points of time. Okay. And the final point for this first week then is just about general use of online dictionaries in general, or online translators. They can be tempting to use, especially in something like 102, where you have some basic German now. You might want to try out new things. I just want to basically iterate that we can tell when you're using online translators more than you should, and online dictionaries more than you should. What we really want to see in this course is that, do you know the German that we're trying to help you learn for that tour, for that part of the course? We don't need to see you try to go out there and do all this fancy use of German. We're focusing on accuracy more so than creativity. So if you can demonstrate to us that, all right, I learned this vocabulary, I learned this grammar, I'm now going to show you what I learned, that's what we want to see. If you stick to that, you'll do well in the course. If you try to go above and beyond and use fancy German that comes from a translation tool, we can tell, and it's not going to do you any good basically. So stick to what you know, stick to what you're learning, practice that, and you'll do just fine, okay? So with that said, again, Polizei controller is due on Sunday night. The Anreise, then the first real task is due Tuesday. at midnight. Give us a shot. As you're working on those, let us know if you have any questions. And otherwise, have a great weekend and all the best with your work. Okay? Tschüss.